Well, it was bound to happen. Middle of January, you're talking about two controversial movies. You're about to talk about a first real stinker, eventually. So Wes is back.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be back.
And we're here to talk about Strange Magic.
Latest film from LucasArts. Not gonna lie. It's better than a 30-foot lighting penis.
Nothing's better than a 30-foot lighting penis. I think it's closer to 50-foot if we're being fair. I can't.
All right.
I still gotta upload that worst stuff video, but I'll get around to it eventually. But we're already off to a strong contender for this year's with Strange Magic by LucasArts. This movie is terrible.
You know, if this is the worst movie this year, it's a pretty good year for movies.
I know, so far it's not bad. Like, we had Selma, we had American Sniper, which I did not like, but I thought was better than this.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that.
Really? I thought American Sniper was worse?
Yes.
I thought American Sniper was better acted.
Because one visit to a therapist can make you overcome PTSD.
Oh, yeah. If we're gonna pick
be
apart...
honest, that's less believable than the plot of this film.
Really?
Yes.
The one that's basically Ferngully mixed with Shakespeare?
This has neither of either of those. There is no pollution, so good luck with Ferngully. There isn't even a bat. I'm like, really? There's no humans. This isn't Ferngully. There just happen to be fairies.
We have the iguana. The iguana can substitute for the bat. It doesn't rap, but, you know, it can kind of substitute. It still has that weird bestiality relationship going on that they had in Shrek.
And Shrek was a quality film.
It was, actually. I like Shrek.
See, this is great. You're going to complain about bestiality on the get-go of a film that's main concept is not to judge love.
I will judge whatever the fuck I want. I think one of my psych teachers was telling us today is like, okay, the best clinical therapist you can find is also the best codependent. Which is a line I've heard from an actual therapist.
Excellent.
Told me that most people go to clinical therapists to fix themselves because we are narcissistic assholes. I'm paraphrasing that last bit, but that's basically what she said.
All right. So,
Strange Magic.
Yep.
I should make it perfectly clear. I hate jukebox musicals.
Which is what this is. It is definitely a jukebox musical. I'll give it that.
It is a jukebox musical, and it's bad. It's really fucking bad. There's a couple fair compliments I will give it. Like, the animation looks really fucking good. I will give it that much.
It's beautiful.
Aside from the fact that all the faces of the fairies have the exact same face, both the male and the female have exactly the same facial structure, and it's really distracting when you have like 5 of them on screen at once. And you look like, this might as well be Star Wars Episode 7, The Clone Army. Just, they really downgraded.
Oh boy.
They look exactly the same. The only difference is their eye color and their hair color. That's the only difference.
Yeah. No, I will give you that. I have a bigger problem with the film than the fact that the fairies look alike.
I'm saying it's only one of my many complaints about this movie.
All right.
That's just the one that comes to mind right now.
Well, let's just establish from the get-go, there's some problems with this film.
I would say it's fair.
Yeah, just from a current cultural standpoint, among the good guys, you have a ruling class of fairies, which are entirely made up of white people. The only characters who are minorities are either goblins made to look like monsters, or the elves that are played off as being either very small or very stupid, and in some cases both, which is just a wonderful message to give in a children's film these days.
Right.
Really with the times.
It's George Lucas, man.
You know.
This is the same guy who gave us Nuking the Fridge. All right.
Well, we'd have other problems here with, you could say that, oh, yeah, they're going to make the, non-white people the bad guys, but no, actually the main bad guy's a Scotsman. So it's just kind of an over-anglicized cast.
Which I surprisingly didn't notice until about halfway through. I was like, wait a minute, this guy's Scottish. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's not until he says we that you're like, holy shit, he's a Scotsman. You are terrible. All right.
Oddly enough, the villain was my favorite character. Like, of all the characters, like, the guy who's, like, the the stereotypical evil bad guy was the only one whose story I got behind halfway through the movie.
There are characters I enjoyed in this. Yeah, the Bog King, who is the bad guy, is
the kind of sort
an
of bad
entertaining character.
Yeah.
Or he's initially drawn up as the bad guy.
But no, he's really just misunderstood, and he ends up wooing the main character, which is the fairy queen, who originally tried to marry...
She's a princess, she's not a queen yet.
I'm sorry, princess, who basically tried to marry Gaston. It's the same token character.
It's true, except this Gaston had a Texas accent and...
Because, fuck it, why not?
Exactly, clearly. Amongst the fairy people, you should have one guy with a Texas accent. That makes sense.
That river dances out of fucking nowhere.
If that's their idea of, diversifying your cast just to give one guy a Texas accent, I'm really worried.
Well, we did have the token black guy, who was also a minority elf.
Yeah.
And I don't want to try to theorize what the little imp mouse thing was supposed to be.
He's an imp. And kind of a mousy thing. That's all I got.
Because I took it as a metaphor for the Norwegians.
The hell?
And that's the reaction I was going for.
All right. So...
Okay, apparently, I only found this about a couple days ago, but apparently this is based off Shakespeare's Midsummer's Night Dream. You cannot fucking tell by watching this thing.
The names have been changed. The plot has also been changed.
And instead we get a lot of fart jokes.
Were there a lot of fart? I counted 2 or 3ry, but...
Okay, maybe not a lot, but there is a fair few. And a lot of is just really dumb. That's what it comes down to.
It is not an intellectual movie.
Like, this comes down to, it's the same thing with Moulin Rouge, which is admittedly a better film. But it's the same thing where it's like, you feel like the movie was made because someone put 2 quarters in a jukebox and wrote down the lyrics they could find. So... Because I feel like a lot of this is written around what songs I can get the rights to. And it's very clear when the main villain starts being mistreated very loudly in the middle of fucking nowhere. Followed by, what was some other shitty songs we got?
They sang, oh gosh.
Sugar Pie Honey Bun was one of them.
Yes, that got sang too many times.
Yeah, that was like their main, like, what happens is the Gaston, I'm just gonna call him Gaston because I can't remember the character's name for fuck. So
it starts with an R.
So I'm gonna call it Gaston because he's the same character and it's easier to say.
Okay.
So Gaston eventually tries to marry the main character whose name was the main character from Ferngully because they look exactly the same.
No! The character from Ferngully had black hair, wore practically nothing.
Well, she also had blackish hair and
she
wore
had
next
brown
to
hair with highlights and had most of her skin covered.
I'm just saying, they looked very similar.
No!
I thought so.
You are really hooked on tying this to Ferngully and Shakespeare, and it is neither!
To be fair, I'm not trying to tie it to Shakespeare. They're trying to tie it to Shakespeare. They're the ones saying this is based on Midsummer Night's Dream. I'm not making that up.
Was it your first statement here that the entire movie was a combination of Ferngully and Shakespeare?
I'm saying that's what they're trying to do. I'm not saying they succeeded.
I don't see where they tried any of that.
Well, you got the love potion thing that kind of relates, and you got.
Was there a love potion in Ferngully? I don't remember a love potion.
There was a love potion.
I remember a noxious pollution monster.
No. Was there a love potion in Midsummer's Night Dream? There was, kind of.
Let us count the stories that involve love potions. First 1 to 9 wins.
Well, let's see. There was that time I tried that in Vegas.
And that's 9.
Okay, that was well played. Right. I'll give you credit for that. No, again.
All right, so, the musical score, I'll admit, there are songs that A, were sung too often, and that were sung by individuals I wished would not have sung those songs. That being said, the recording, the balance of the sound as it pans and whatnot,
that was solid.
It's decently done. The animation is beautiful, albeit poorly edited at times.
Yeah. I think that bugged you more than it did me. I was more like, why are we seeing so many fucking songs?
I've been doing a lot of film editing recently. So, but no, The hard split screens at the end, the kaleidoscope that isn't part of the credits.
Oh yeah, that just comes right out of fucking nowhere. Out of nowhere, we get a kaleidoscope shot between, like, at the very end when the main villain gets together with the main hero and they have their last love number. There's all of a sudden out of fucking nowhere, a kaleidoscope shot. You're like, what the hell is going on? Carlina was like, I feel like I feel like I'm stoned for some reason, and I don't get why this is here.
Yeah. Were it not for the kind of obvious racism in it, it's got a decent message about love.
Yeah, safe as it can be for that kind of movie.
Well, yeah, all right, it's a rated PG film, which admittedly, so first major spoiler we're going to give away on this. Apparently one of the two of the Bog King's main henchmen is female.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like it noted that this henchwoman spends the entire film naked. You have a rated PG film in which you have full nudity the entire time of a female character.
Which I was really disappointed. I thought they're going to go for the progressive gay couple.
I thought so too.
I thought actually, you know what? That's bold. I can go with that.
So I was,
that was my favorite part of one of my favorite parts of Paranorman. Have you seen Paranorman?
Oh yeah.
The very end of that movie, it's like that was great.
That was fantastic. So, but there is some entertaining, references to being more progressive about the concept of love. Unfortunate that it had to also go alongside, some kind of racist
sugar pie,
notes.
honey bun.
All in all, aside from my huge problem with the racism, they didn't, the way it was portrayed, albeit it wasn't blatant, but that's kind of the problem with current happenings in societies. It's not as much blatant racism anymore. It's passive racism, and it's still a major issue.
Keep in mind, we've reviewed Selma and American Sniper so far this year. We've covered racism so far in season 3.
Still, I don't want to let it pass by,
No, fair enough.
All that being said, were it not for that, if it had a more diverse cast, I'd call this an okay film. It's not great. I'd say wait until it's out in Netflix or something if you're gonna, if you want to check it out. If you like jukebox musicals, on Netflix it's gonna be a lot of fun where you can sing along at home.
For me, not so much. Every time I can tell when it was ramping up to musical number, and I was sitting there like, oh god,
it's a jukebox musical. You're supposed to know that you're about to get to sing.
It's like every you watch Community, it's like the paintball episode when they're fighting against the Glee Club, and they start singing random jukebox songs, and he yells out, "You sing some original songs." That's my feeling about jukebox musicals in a nutshell.
Yeah, well,
it's like I would rather shoot you than have to listen to you repeat songs I already know sung by better talented people most of the time. I emphasize most of the time. Exactly. I will give credit that the song voices are not bad, most of them anyway.
Some of the voices did a decent job.
I thought the villain voice was actually, solid, all things considered.
Yeah, the Bog King's voice was entertaining. I enjoyed the rendition of Elvis.
Which one was Elvis?
Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is sung by one of the few larger elves. Who, of course, they downplay his size by making him stupid.
Of course.
Which is just great. But he's singing it about the fact that a massive iguana has been doused with love potion and therefore fallen in love with both him and his smaller companion. Kudos for polyamory. But, at the same time, I also was very happy to see some Elvis in a film because I like Elvis.
Oh, dude, we haven't checked out The Identical yet.
Oh, man.
We need to see that one.
I really wanted to catch that in theaters, and I didn't. And I read the reviews, and I can't decide if I still wanted to see it in theaters.
We still gotta do that animated movie thing. We should just watch it while we're doing that.
Actually, all right, so it's Monday night. Tomorrow, there's a new Justice League animated film coming out.
Yeah, I heard about the Throne of Atlantis, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get on that.
Well, we'll start from the beginning and we'll work our way up.
All right, no problem. I'm just saying, there are more coming out.
So I'm aware, so we'll probably do it. Look out for March, people. Well, March, we'll probably start doing that because you got more free time around then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do it around then. All right. Anyway, so back to Strange. So there's our teaser for the next little vlog series we got going on. But in the meantime, we're back to Strange Magic. The only character Like, the big thing about this, these are all incredibly shallow characters, incredibly shallow plot, as shallow as you can make it with a kids' movie. And so, like, that didn't really piss me off too much, because I kind of expected that with this kind of movie. But I did not expect, because I was actually getting strangely invested in the Bog King storyline.
It's because you can relate to
I know, and that made it worse. Because he has this whole backstory, that apparently, by the way, this is the only time in a movie I've ever seen where one of the character demands to give out exposition before he will meet the villain's demands.
You have to let me tell my story.
Because, like, there's this character, what's her name?
Sugar Plum Fairy.
The Sugar Plum Fairy.
Makes the love
Who knows how to make the
potions.
love potion, knows how to fix it, like the antidote for it, but will only tell how to make the antidote if she can tell the tragic story behind the Bog King.
Now, admittedly, understanding this story does relate to what the antidote is, because the only thing that beats the love potion is actual love.
But that's like if it were in a movie, if for some reason I was a prisoner and the captain came up to me and says, "You need to tell me the passcodes to so-and-so," and like, "I can't unless you let me tell everyone your tragic backstory about how your wife died when you were 12. Because they had a wife when he was 12, just go with it."
And then he spares you because you're psychic.
My screenplay. Gotta write that now. It's gonna be got a huge Academy Awards.
It's just how your way of getting around all sorts of villains throughout the thing.
And I'll throw North Korea in there just so I can get some controversy and some publicity.
Right. Because
apparently if the interview is any case, that's all it takes.
Gosh. I heard that was bad.
It was awful. It was really awful. Me and Grant checked out pay-per-view. We were just like, what the fuck was that?
I love how Netflix sent something off to every one of their subscribers saying, "Look what we've got just for you."
I know! I got that email. It made me mad. I get this phone. Hey, Michael, we know how much you like Seth Rogen comedies. You know what you would like? The interview. And I'm like, fuck you.
I was trying to figure out how they chose me for it. I'm like, okay, let's see. Stoner movies. No, I don't watch those on Netflix.
It's not even a good stoner movie.
Well, all right then. I just, I don't tend to watch many stoner movies.
Let me put it this way. It's a James Franco and Seth Rogen movie where Seth Rogen plays the straight man.
All right.
And James Franco is the obnoxious piece of shit you want to punch in the face.
So they're themselves?
More or less.
All right. No,
No, but like I said, the Bog King story was the only one I almost kind of sort of genuinely got behind. A, because I kind of relate, which makes me sad. And B, because it was better written than the one about, oh, I know true love's pains. I fell in love with fucking Gaston and act surprised when I found out he's a douchebag. Which sums up so many of my friends right now.
they're all ridiculous. I mean, that being said, we've pretty well covered the plot.
More or less.
There are primroses that grow between the dark forest and the fairy kingdom. The primroses are the ingredient for the love potion because of his horrible backstory involving getting shunned because the goblin he was in love with was already in love with another, so the love potion didn't work. He has all the primroses cut down so they can't do it.
Yeah, I thought they were going with the Bog King story was the fact that he was so ugly that even the ugly woman would not fall in love with him because of the love potion. We're just like, that is just cruel. It's like, that is just a dick move, movie. Lucas, screw you. Make people like me cry.
How involved was George Lucas actually in this? I mean, I know it's
his company. I don't know how involved he was in it. Like, maybe I know he at least produced it. So he probably had some hand in the script, because I'm not gonna lie, the way this pacing is in this movie, it has his fingerprints all over it.
Not one of those fairies had midichlorians.
Yeah, but we also did have the racial stereotypes.
Oh God, it's true.
I mean, I don't know what race Jar Jar Binks was trying to be, but I know it was racist.
I'm not even gonna disagree with that.
It's like, I don't know if he's Jamaican or African or something of the sort. I just know it's bad. And that's that's our review, episode 1. And don't even get me started on Anakin. I mean, the pace in this movie goes by so fucking fast. I mean,
yeah,
God knows
it's an hour and a half long.
It's a kids movie.
It's a kids movie, and
but
it's, you know,
we saw some good kids movies last year though, so it's not even
and
really
I
worth
think
saying
there's going to be
excuse.
some good kids movies this year.
Like, what's coming out this year as far as kids movies go?
I'd have to double check on what's coming, but I have not lost hope because of this.
I mean,
it's
we
not
have
that bad.
we have Paddington right now, which I heard is actually really fucking good. We're gonna check that out later this week, I think.
All right.
But that one's supposed to be really good. And I know last year we had How to Train Your Dragon 2 and the Lego Movie, which are both fantastic movies. So, I don't know, it's one of those things.
I still can't figure out how the Lego Movie didn't go up for Best Animation.
I don't know either, but you know what? I mean, it's better than Big Hero 6. I don't get why I didn't. Anyway.
Big Hero 6 was awesome.
I liked Big Hero 6, but it was not my pick for Best Animated Movie.
I don't know.
I thought it was good, not great.
I mean, really, of the three, I probably would have given it to How to Train Your Dragon 2. But
It was really a toss-up between that and Lego Movie. It really was.
Lego Movie should have been nominated.
At very least.
You know.
Yeah. But that's, that's our complaint about the Oscar nominees. You know, it's one of those things, it probably was on the list, but just the 8 old fogies that got to vote on this thing just did not go for it. Because, it's a humor style that's more...
It's all because they were supported by Kinect's lobbyists. It's all a political situation, man.
And I thought my Norwegian comment was out of fucking nowhere. While we're at, let's talk about the political...
Why did the Lego Movie fail? It's all Kinect's fault.
I blame the Turkish.
Between them and Mega Bloks.
Turf War.
Kinect, not the Canucks. Jeez.
You're gonna have me in trouble one of these days, man.
Oh, man.
And then again, I'll probably get myself in trouble. After the American Sniper review, I made a sniper no sniping joke. So...
Oh, I wish I was there for that. That would have been great.
The funny part was before we started recording that review, I looked at our Grant's like, okay, Grant, we need to take it easy on the jokes because this is a sensitive subject. Here I'm going, sniper, no sniping.
Oh, man.
To be fair, I was about the fictional sniper, so it's okay. But
still, all right.
on that note.
So, previews?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I can't think of it, so let's talk about the movie. So, we actually got a fair bunch of new trailers today. So let me see what I got here. Okay, this one I've seen before. Cinderella. We got a trailer for Cinderella.
I really enjoyed Into the Woods. To be honest, I thought it was a lot of fun. A bit dark, but that's part of the fun of it for me.
For me, Into the Woods, those movies, I look back on now and I just realized it was just not made for me. Like,
yes.
I did some more research about the subject matter because I had no idea what Into the Woods was going into it.
Okay.
So when the Johnny Depp pedophilia came up, I was just like,
yeah, that was a problematic scene. At the
like,
same time, of anyone I could, any great actors in Hollywood right now that I could choose to have to play in a pedophilic scene, Johnny Depp, take the bullet, man.
Yeah. Speaking of bullet, we gotta check out Mordecai later this week too.
Oh, you have fun with that.
But no, that was one of those movies I looked back and I kind of understood what the point of that movie was, and it falls in the category of good for you, not for me. That's kind of what it comes down to for Into the Woods. Cinderella looks, I don't know, it looks like a...
I've never been a big fan of Cinderella's story.
Neither have I.
So I'm not that interested in the movie. It's not that it couldn't be good, it's just not what I'm after.
Fair enough. I mean, it looks to me like it has that dark, gritty tone that a lot of these newer fairy tale movies are going for, and the fact they have bright blue colors and like very bright colors in the halfway section of the trailer is really distracting. So I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, well,
especially when you have Helena Bonham Carter playing the fairy godmother.
I have no problem with that.
I expect her to go crazy and kill Dumbledore. So, which I'm kind of waiting for.
I'm totally okay with this.
If that crossover happened, you know what, I actually would, if there was a twist that turns out she was the same character from Harry Potter movies, I would be 100% okay with that. It's like, oh, is this what she did before she attacked Hogwarts?
This is her prequel.
So this is what happened before she attacked Hogwarts. Okay, I can go with this.
Yes. All right, what do we got next?
And then you got...
Oh, you're excited for this one.
The SpongeBob movie.
Oh, man.
Sponge out of water.
I'm going to give really big props to SpongeBob here. Their writers are fantastic. There are some jokes, primarily that come from Patrick, that are some of the best things I have heard in children's animation in a while.
I'm just saying, I've seen 3 trailers for this thing. I still don't know what the story's about because the trailers keep changing the story on me. So.
Which I kind of find fantastic. I did, honestly, when the trailer started, I was like, I could probably pass on this. It's not a big deal. By the end of the trailer, I was pretty well sold on wanting to sit down and watch this movie. So whoever's making the trailers is doing a decent job. Because at least, you know, they're selling some people on it. I'm not saying it's going to be the best movie of the year. No. Is it going to have some hilarious puns? Yes.
Hilarious and puns don't belong in the same sentence unless ironically.
That sounds like a you problem.
Fair enough. I just know that I have issues with this because my brain is being nitpicky asshole and thinking, but in the first movie, he went on land and hung out with David Hasselhoff and had no problems. Why is that not addressed here? They've been on land before.
Is this...
Both
There was another SpongeBob movie?
You didn't know that?
No, I did not. All right.
It had David Hasselhoff. They rode on his back as he motored up like a speedboat.
That is mildly fantastic.
It kind of was.
Okay.
And I was like, you've been in this world before, and you were in 2D. Why do you not know it now? I did like the Mad Max reference. I will give it that.
The Mad Max reference is good. Again, a bunch of great lines from Patrick. It's...
Like, which ones are you thinking of specifically?
Okay, standing out in the trailer, you've got SpongeBob is laying there, apparently in pain. Patrick comes to his side and goes, are you? You ask him if he's gonna be okay. SpongeBob looks up and says, I see a bright light. And Patrick moves his head so it blocks the sun and goes, there's that better? And SpongeBob's like, yes, thank you.
That movie's gonna be a hard trip for me. It's gonna come in there with 6-pack. I'm like, the way was awesome, puke.
Beer is not the thing to drink to go into a movie drunk, man.
Wait, what?
You'll get full before you get properly drunk.
Okay, that sentence you said before that made no sense. Like, beer is not what you drink to get drunk, man. This is like that.
Beer is not what you drink to get drunk for a movie. Whiskey.
Okay, I was gonna say...
I'm not saying don't get drunk before a movie.
I was gonna say, as opposed to what?
Anything stronger.
You get 3 or so. For me, that's a fun time. I admit I had one before he came in. Because I knew what I was getting myself into. So.
Alright. So, next preview.
This was a new trailer. I've seen the trailer so many fucking times, but thankfully this was still the same thing, but slightly different, of McFarland USA.
Oh. Yeah, it's cross-country inspirational sports movie. You know, I don't think we've gotten a cross-country sports movie yet, so kudos for picking a new sport.
It looks exactly the same as so many other fucking these movies. I mean, it's the Disney sports movie. Like I said,
yes, it's Disney making an inspirational sports movie. They do it practically
at least
every
Cool
year.
Running was fun in a stupid way.
Cool Runnings is fantastic, and I will still watch that movie any day. But I, for one, all right, name a sport you like to watch. Yeah, you're never going to enjoy a sports movie. It's not going to happen, man. Did you enjoy Dodgeball?
I never saw Dodgeball.
Okay, yeah, see, sports movies and Michael just don't work. Is it going to be amazing new creative writing? No. But you know what? This Sunday, millions of people are going to sit down to watch a group of men slam into another group of men in the same sport we've all seen before.
And I'll be playing D&D.
So, it's, you know...
I wish I was getting actually to have a D&D game planned for that night.
Yeah, I probably do too. But anyways...
I don't know.
That being said...
I can get behind some sports movies, but it's just hard to find one.
Name one. What is a sports movie you got behind?
I'll think hard about this.
Yeah, see, he's a liar too.
Remember the Titans was not bad.
Okay.
See?
Hey.
Just shove that up your poop chute.
You were still young and impressionable. Come on, man. Remember the Titans came out when you were like 12. You still had dreams of actually playing football.
No, I didn't. I was realistic even back then. That's not gonna fucking happen. Dude, that one with the dog was amazing.
Airbud?
Airbud. Fuck yeah, Airbud.
That's because it wasn't a sports movie.
That and all of its 20
movie.
sequels.
That dog has more athletic skill than
Don't you ruin my
childhood.
Airbud was fantastic. I think there was also might have been one with a gorilla at some point. No, it was an ape. And it had Bill Murray.
Oh, gosh. The chimpanzee playing baseball.
That was it.
I don't remember the name of that one.
Neither do I.
It came out, I feel like it was right around the same time as Rookie of the Year.
It's entirely possible. Oh, you know what I did like that
Anyways.
actually was around Sandlot. I like Sandlot.
That's because Sandlot is a timeless classic, and anyone who doesn't like it is probably some sort of horrible person.
Communist spy,
Yes.
according to the Imitation Game. I finally saw that too.
How was that?
It was actually really good.
It looked good.
I mean, almost none of it's true, but it's really good.
Oh, bummer.
In comparison to like American Sniper, where none of it was true and it was really bad. So
Oh, man. All right.
I'm gonna get some angry comments about that.
You just might.
I keep saying that. So far, no one's actually taken me up on it. Although I did get a very long comment filled with biblical verses for Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas, which I thought was interesting.
I just like that I got quoted for Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. That was awesome.
I got a comment not too long ago that wasn't anything opinion-wise. It was just one very long, like, several verses from Corinthians, I think it was. And I'm like, I have no idea this relates to anything, but okay.
I really gotta start reading comments more often.
They've been coming more frequently. They've gotten interesting.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right, and
I think the last.
Is that it?
No, we got one more, and I don't have to look. I know exactly what it is, and I know because I'm gonna
Okay.
hate this movie.
Oh, boy.
It's a DreamWorks movie,
oh, yeah.
and I'm usually lenient on DreamWorks movies. Although we did not go see Penguins of Madagascar last year, despite my best efforts to try to get someone to go see it.
Oh, man, it was good.
I heard it's actually kind of insane. It's something that I actually might have enjoyed.
All right, so I actually wrote a review that was printed by the newspaper I was working for at the time. And I got yelled at by my editor because he's like, you can't give the whole plot of the movie in the article. And I'm like, that's the first half. And he's like, what? What else happened? So I told him what else happened. He's like, holy cow, this is a kid's movie. It has all that story. I'm like, yeah.
I just know, I was like, I read a review on it. This movie's kind of insane. I instantly was like, sold. I'm in.
Yeah.
Like any movie where like, there's a critic, the Cinema Snob is one I watch a lot, and I highly respect his opinion because he and I kind of have very similar tastes. So whenever he says this movie's kind of insane, I listen because that's why we went to go see Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. Because I watched that review for 5 seconds, and he goes, "This movie is the worst thing I've seen, but it's also kind of amazing." I was like, done, sold. We're gonna go see Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas, and then that's when I called you.
But no, so the last preview is for Home.
It's for Home.
It's the new DreamWorks animated film. It's got the same guy who plays Sheldon in Big Bang Theory voicing the main alien character.
And that's kind of where that was kind of my I'm done voice in my head.
You got a African American female protagonist, which is kind of cool.
Which is fine, but she also looks way too young to drive.
You know, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. She does look too young to drive.
She looks 10, and I'm guessing she's supposed to be like 16 or something.
But when you consider the fact that the car then flies, you know, I'm willing to suspend disbelief here.
I mean, it's like my hatred for the Big Bang Theory is right up there with my infamous hatred towards Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, where it's like, I don't care if they're in a good project, I can't go see it out of principle, and I'm going to have to for this movie.
I have a lot of problems with Big Bang Theory.
I have many.
I'm not even going to get started on that.
I kind of want to hear it now that I'm curious. I want to see if you were on the same page about that.
So one of the best ways to understand some of the problems with the show is to go and look up episodes that are played without the laugh track.
Yeah, I've seen those clips.
The main characters are the butt of every joke. Nothing is funny without the
Thank you.
You also have issues. Penny doesn't have a last name, and the writers have said they never plan to give her a last name. So your main female character, they've introduced other female characters, sure, but your main female character from the get-go is never allowed to have a full name. This combined with a number of other issues with, racial stereotypes, cultural stereotypes, the show is offensive.
Yep.
And more often than not very funny.
Nope.
But among my biggest problems is that Sheldon Cooper has stolen the right to wear shirts with the Flash emblem from many geeks everywhere.
And the Green Lantern shirt, that one I've learned.
Yeah, unfortunately there's that as well.
You've taken this away from me. I have a Green Lantern ring on right now. Look at that. You can't really see it, but...
You hold it to the light instead of next to the camera.
There you go. You can kind of make it out there.
Here you go. You bring it back here.
But it sparkles in the moonlight. With the moon down. Moondown's coming. You have to return this just in time, or the Bog King will take away the scene quick.
Stay tuned. At some point this year, I'm going to manage to sneak a fish into a review without him knowing, and I will slap him with a fish.
What?
It's January. I've got all year.
I would say Patrick snuck a dolphin puppet on at one point, so I don't doubt that you can do it.
I made you apologize through nearly every review we did last year.
It stopped about the third quarter. To my credit, it stopped about the third quarter.
All right, but I also kind of fell off the bandwagon of making a lot of reviews at that point.
That's true, because you got busy.
I got busy. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
But anyways.
So yeah.
That's
back to home.
Okay, so home.
We were originally talking about.
I have parts of it I'm excited about. Parts of it I'm really not.
It's based on like the animated short they released last year. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
That was it's fine.
Yeah, them looking for a planet to live on, and things keep going wrong, and I was entertained by it. I'm just saying now, the same way How to Train Your Dragon got its own TV show.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Home is getting its own TV show.
Is it really?
I don't know if they've announced it. I'm just calling it.
It probably will.
It's gonna get its own TV show, and I'm probably gonna watch it.
Is How to Train Your Dragon show good?
Remarkably.
Really?
It does not stand up to the movies.
Oh yeah.
But there's no way they have that budget.
Did they get Gerald Butler back on board?
I have no idea. I've never looked at the cast list for the cartoon.
So I know they got the main character.
If they don't have him on board, they've got a decent impressionist playing the part.
Fair enough. But yeah,
my only issue with it is in the couple of animations that have come out since How to Train Your Dragon 2. Either they're backtracking in time a little bit because they still seem to be the same age, or they're retconning his father dying. So I don't know what's going on there.
The sequel takes place several years later. I assume the show takes place like in between. So.
Yeah, no, the show is the show when it had episodes was in between the two movies. But they've had a number of short movies they've come out with as well, straight to DVD sort of things.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think that one takes place before the movie starts.
The Origins of Dragon Racing.
Yeah, that's before.
Okay.
That's a prequel. So.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because you're missing a lot of the different types of dragons and whatnot as well.
Especially since the second movie starts out with Dragon Racing, so it makes sense that it would start before. Sure. So, and now we've found that. Back to Home.
We've discussed Home.
Yeah, I know.
You're dreading it. I think it could be pretty good.
It's one of those things. DreamWorks has surprised me way more often than I think it should.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I still vehemently stand behind Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2, and I thought both looked like crap before they came out.
They're fantastic movies.
They are great movies. And How to Train Your Dragon 1 was one of those movies that came out of fucking nowhere. Like, my dad wanted to go see it. I was surprised he wanted to go see it. We saw it in 3D, and it still stands as the best 3D movie I've ever seen.
I'm not gonna lie, it didn't come out of nowhere for me, but that's mainly because any movie that comes out and goes, hey, dragons, I'm probably there.
Even Dragon Wars?
Yeah. I got suckered like everyone else who saw that movie.
Yeah, I watched it too.
Oh my god.
I watched it too. I feel your pain. But no, like, How to Train Your Dragon 2 was everyone's like, really? You want to go see that one? It looks like it's bad, but okay, I'll go see it and watch it. Like, this movie's amazing! I felt the same way about Kung Fu Panda. This movie's great! Why do the trailers make it look like shit? This has Kung Fu, the animation's fantastic, has good characters and shit, what the hell?
Oh yeah, no. The Kung Fu Panda series has been great. The only DreamWorks animation I have not yet seen is Epic.
Epic was not made by DreamWorks, actually.
It wasn't? I thought it was.
It was made by Blue Sky.
Blue Sky, my bad.
So technically you have not.
All right.
So Epic was not good, by the way.
I've heard that it wasn't great. At the same time, it came out on my birthday. So
maybe you probably dodged a bullet there because we did go see it and we was like, eh.
I wasn't seeing movies with you guys yet at that point either.
That was true. That was our first year, way back in the olden days.
Yep.
Wow, it's hard to believe we've been doing this for 3 years.
I always feel bad for animated movies coming out in like May and June because I want to see them. I really do. I try to see every animated film I can.
You just want to be your animated movie guy?
Sure, for the most part, no problem. Admittedly, Legends of Oz was a horrible mistake. But
I still remember your girlfriend's text in that movie was, you don't have to do this.
My girlfriend, she's been in a couple of the reviews.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I love her dearly. She's amazing, and a couple of times she's done this where I've gotten texts from her before I see the movie where she's just like, you don't have to do this to yourself. There's still time.
Did she tell you that during Christmas? Because if she didn't, then,
she had no idea I was going to see it.
Oh, okay, that's justifiable then.
Yeah, I didn't tell her beforehand. Otherwise, I'm sure she would have told me, you can get out of this.
Because I was going to say, if she didn't, that's a red flag, man.
No. Legends of Oz was definitely the most vehement warning. Which is funny, because it was only the second worst movie of last year. For me.
For you, maybe. I think it was number 5 for me.
Well, and then there were movies you hated that I didn't.
Yeah,
so, not to mention movies you saw that I didn't.
Yeah, wait for that video. I'm still editing that. It actually sucks. Me and Grant recorded the best of movies a week ago, and then in my haste to make footage, like room in the camera for more videos, I accidentally deleted all of the footage, and it was about 2 hours worth. So now we got.
You're a horrible person.
Yeah, I know. So I texted Grant, you're gonna hate me, but
at least it was the best of and not the worst of.
I know, the worst of was just me, because no one saw as many bad movies as I did, so I took it solo.
I still say the worst movie of last year was A Haunted House 2.
Yeah, that was my number 1.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. Because, I mean, theoretically, Saving Christmas was the worst, by far, but at least I had fun with it.
Yep.
So there's a bit of bias there. Anyway, I think we're just shooting the shit now.
Yeah,
so
I think that covers everything. Keep
yeah.
tuned here. Subscribe. Comment below. Make sure to check out future ones, especially if I'm here, because there is a fish slap coming. It will happen.
Okay, we're going to amp that up as much as we possibly can.
Oh, you better believe I'm going to reference it in every review I do.
It's going to be like Game of Thrones, you know? The dragons are coming! The dragons are coming!
This is not going to be like, oh man, finally at the Christmas movie he pulls out a fish. You know, like that.
Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas 2.
I'm graduating this semester, so there's a decent chance in June I could move. So I have to make certain that it happens probably sooner than later. So
that would be
definitely, good. Check it out. That being said, I'm not saying there's only going to be one fish slap. All right, I think we're good.
I think we're good. Yeah. So we're gonna do Paddington later this week probably, and then we got Mordecai and Boy Next Door. And I'm gonna text Brian. Hey Brian, you want to do a marathon?
Oh boy, Brian, Godspeed.
Hey, he ditched me when I saw Mockingjay. So
nice. All right.
So yeah, I think that's it. So bye.